In a small town nestled between dense woods, there was a house on the hill that everyone avoided. It was old, worn down, and surrounded by thick fog that never seemed to lift. The townspeople whispered about the house, telling stories of a little girl named Maddie who once lived there. They said she vanished years ago, but some believed she never truly left. Maddie had been a curious child with bright blue eyes and a spirit that never seemed to tire. She would wander the house's dark halls, listening to the creaks and groans of the old wood as though the house itself were alive. Her parents often warned her not to go near the attic, but of course Maddie's curiosity always got the better of her. One rainy afternoon, as the wind howled outside, Maddie climbed the narrow stairs to the attic. The door creaked as she pushed it open, revealing a dusty room filled with old furniture and cobwebs. In the corner of the room, under a tattered blanket, was an old rocking chair that seemed to sway back and forth on its own. Maddie felt a chill crawl up her spine, but she was too intrigued to turn back. She approached the chair, her small fingers brushing the worn fabric. Suddenly she heard a faint whisper in her ear. "Maddie, come play with me." Maddie spun around, but there was no one there. Her heart began to race as the room grew colder. The whisper came again, this time louder. "Maddie, come play with me forever." Panic gripped her chest as she ran for the door, but it slammed shut before she could reach it. The room seemed to close in on her, the shadows growing longer and darker. The rocking chair rocked faster now, as though something or someone was sitting in it. From the corner of the room, two glowing eyes appeared in the darkness. Maddie froze, unable to move, as the figure slowly stepped into the light. It was her, only not quite. The Maddie that stood before her had hollow eyes and a twisted smile, and its voice was not her own. "Maddie," it whispered, "you've been gone too long." And with that, the room plunged into darkness. The next morning, Maddie's parents searched the house, calling her name. They found the attic door wide open, the rocking chair gently swaying, but there was no sign of Maddie. The house, however, seemed to sigh with relief, and the fog outside began to lift. But the townspeople knew better. They said Maddie hadn't vanished. She had simply stayed in the house, waiting for someone to join her. They said on stormy nights, if you listened closely, you could still hear her whispering, inviting others to play forever.